What's up, y'all? James Casino, Chocolate Man in Thailand. I get a lot of frequently asked questions, so I just want to kind of address some of those. Maybe it'll help. Maybe some people will see this and they won't have to ask anymore. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're just trying to cover a lot of ground here with this one post. That way, hopefully it'll help you guys out. And I asked you to ask me these questions, so I put up a community post asking for, hey, what do you want to know? And maybe this will quell some things for you. Get that out of the way. So let's try to do that. First thing we're going to start off with, and I know it's the one thing everybody always asks about, but it's such a huge variable, it's ridiculous, but we'll give it to you anyway. And you'll notice there's been a billion bloggers that do this post, and it still will not help you, because I've watched a bunch of them too, and honestly it just doesn't matter, because it's going to be different for everybody. But we'll give you an idea of what I have to deal with when it comes to budget. Okay, I'll tell you again, if you watch my video on when I did the walk around my apartment and what I paid for my apartment and a little apartment tour I did, if you watch that, you already know that I suck at budgeting. So and it's not that I suck at it and I'm hurting for money, it's that I suck at it and I could spend less money. That's really the thing. I could spend less money if I actually thought about it, but I don't really think about it because I don't really have a problem in that area. So I'm just like, whatever. If I spend a little extra here, a little extra there, I get a lot of comments about that too. Why'd you pay so much? Why'd you drop all this money on that? And oh my God, you wasted that. And I'm like, that's what I do sometimes, man. I just, sometimes like, whatever, I just pay it, or a lot of times I spend money just for convenience sake. I could go this way, I could do it this way, and and save $5 or save $20 or save $100. But sometimes I just like to do things that are convenient. So at that time, I might just drop the money and then I don't really think about it again. I think about the fact that I got what I was looking for and I got it the way I wanted. So that's why I did it that way. So I understand the comments though. I get it. I know you guys always have a better way of doing it, a cheaper way of doing it, a better place to get it. Except I get it. It's cool. Keep those comments up, because there's probably other people reading your comments that will take your advice and do things the way you're suggesting. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take your advice. Sometimes you guys got really, really good advice, and I do take it, but I don't necessarily take all of it. So, but anyway, that's just the world of YouTube. That's always going to happen. It's all good. You guys keep it up. As long as you're being nice, it's not a problem. You might just have hey man, don't do that. Spend it. Cool. That's fine. But don't be like, hey, you're an idiot. Why would you spend that money? Okay, well, fine. Delete, buy, and you're gone. It's the worth. I'm babbling. That's what I do. But I'm trying to get the time up. I know you guys like these longer videos, so I babble a little bit. I hope you don't mind. But anyway, just starting off. I'm just gonna read this off, and I'll also put a little graphic up with the totals once I'm done, and I'll kind of freeze frame that for a few seconds, and then you can just stop the video and look at it if you want. Up to you. But I'll just go over this at first. My rent is $14,500 in this apartment. And I'm on a 12-month lease. So, but I'm just gonna do this monthly. I'm not gonna do the whole annual, all that. No, I'll just tell you what I'm putting out. And basically what I'm gonna give you here is just the numbers that I have to pay. Like, these are things I need. These are my necessities, with the exception of, well, I'll get to that. So right now, these are things I have to pay. So $14,500 for rent, which translates to about $460 USD. And again, all this will be in the chart. So $3,500 for electric, average. That's kind of on the high end, especially this time of year where it's cooler, but I'll just keep it there at that $3,500 average. So 3,500 baht, which translates to about 111 US dollars. 210 baht for water, which translates to about $6.60 US. So cable, 3,500 for the year, but monthly, if I broke that down, I paid it all at one time for the year, but if I broke that down, it would be about 292 baht per month, which translates to about $9.25 a month for a cable that I never watch. But and then 6,970 baht for internet is what I paid for the whole year. But again, if I broke it down for the monthly cost, it'd be about 583 baht. And that translates to about $18.42 a month for internet. And that's 50/20 megabytes. Not screaming fast, but unfortunately my building is old and that's all they got is ADSL. That's my only option in this building because That's how they do it. Everything in the apartment has to be on the same internet. I can't go out and get some independent company or whatever. I got to be on the same thing. But anyway, enough about that. And then phone, I use AIS here in Thailand, and it's, you know, you could use DTAC or one of the other big ones. But anyway, I use AIS, and I get the super max performance. Woohoo! It's blinding. Oh my God, you'll freak out. It's so fast. 4G. But to me, it is pretty fast. So to me, it's worth it. But I pay 1,200 baht a month for that. So that translates to about $40.21 for the phone. And that gives me, you know, a few talk minutes and all that stuff. But mainly it's for the internet. And I don't really talk on my phone. I don't really send text messages. If I do send text messages, I do have to pay extra. International calls, I'd have to pay extra, things like that. But I hardly ever use those services. I mean, very rarely. Everything I do is on the Line app. If you don't know what Line is, I'll put a link down there. You can check it out. Everybody in Thailand uses Line. You can use Line for many, many things. It's just a messenger service. And I also use, you know, Facebook and all that. So I rarely use SMS, and I rarely do phone calls. Rarely. So I don't really worry about it. The internet was the big thing. 1,200 baht a month, $40.21 US. So that comes up with a grand total of 20,072 baht, which equals $645.48 US. Those are my, okay, I got to have it items. You know, those are the things I obviously can't live day to day without. There's no way I can do it, you know. And I will have insurance soon. I don't have the total on that yet because they haven't sent me my offer letter, but I'm going to estimate it at 65,000 baht for a year of insurance. 65,000 baht, which is like 2,179 US dollars. And the monthly on that would be about 5,416 baht, or $181.60 a month. All right. And I know, oh my God, why are you paying all that money? That's what I want to do. Okay. That's like 5 million baht in coverage, a bunch of other stuff. So for me, it's worth it. That's what I'm going for. So if I add those totals in, which approximately I think it'll be 25,488 baht a month, and $854 US was what that would translate to. So 25,488 baht, $854 US. That is my must pay things. I gotta pay it. There's no getting around it. Now there is all kinds of extra stuff here, and that's what I'm saying. It's very hard for me to give you a budget because those are really the only common things that we'll share. Other than that, what you spend on food, entertainment, travel, visa fees, I mean, there's so many other things we can add in, and I can give you a bunch of hypotheticals or base it off of somebody else's, or et cetera, but I don't want to do that. It's not going to help you. But here's what you can get away with. So this tells you right now, you know, for like $1,000 a month, you know, you can put a roof over your head. You're going to have electricity. You're going to have internet. You're going to have all these basic necessities that you need, you know. So just add on, I don't know, maybe another 1,000, maybe another 1,500 US, and you have a realistic budget. I can live my lifestyle for 3,000 US or less a month easily. And that just shows you right there. I have about $2,150, you know, out of that $3,000 imaginary budget, whatever. Look at how much money I would have left over for entertainment, food, travel, et cetera, et cetera. To me, that's a pretty good chunk of change. With some common sense budgeting, you could get away with murder with that kind of budget. To me, that's the way I see it, you know. And I live in a decent, very comfortable place. It has everything that I want in it. I'm in a great location. I'm 200 meters from the beach, you know, and that's, again, I'm getting all that for less than $1,000 just for my basic housing necessities and everything it takes to make a house. So obviously you're going to have things you have to buy, clothing or computers or electronics or whatever, cameras, whatever, you know, all that stuff is going to be extra. You're going to have to throw all that stuff in. Of course, it's common sense. You guys get it. So, but there you go. That is what my budget kind of looks like. I mean, I'm just really skimming the surface of what my budget is. Realistically, I probably get close to that 3,000 a month figure, no problem. I get close to it. I don't usually go over it, but I definitely get close to it. And then I have expenses back home as well in the States. So, you know, I still have a mortgage I pay. Thankfully, my house is rented out, so pretty much I don't really pay anything on that mortgage, but it all balances out. But there's still a responsibility. If my house were to go unrented, then I'm gonna have to take on that mortgage debt here. So I got to keep that in mind. You know, help out family, things like that. Just things you're not ready for, you may not, you may not be expecting. So, but I don't have any, other than that, I don't have any other regular monthly debt I have to worry about. When I decided to live overseas, I wanted to make sure I did it debt free. So my house is really, literally the only thing that I owe money on in this world is my house. So that was just my personal choice, as well as doing some investing and having alternate forms of income in case there's anything ever happens with my retirement, which it never should, anything like that. But I have that alternate income, and to me, I wanted that safety net before I came to Thailand. Some people just come over here and, hey man, they just wing it. They get, they got $1,000 in the bank and no guaranteed income, and they make it work. Cool, that's awesome. You rock. Hey, I wish I could do that, but me, I would never be comfortable in that situation, so I can't do it. That would just scare me to death. But I know there are some pensioners that are only going to be making like 2,000 US a month or something like that. I think you can make it work. You don't have to live in a palace here. You can really live comfortably for, in a place that costs 6,000 baht a month, right? Especially right now while everything's really low. If you can get over here and live in a place that's like 6,000 baht a month or whatever, and that really helps out your budget. Now you're talking like 200 US only for your rent, and then you can make it work from there. You could eat street food for a couple bucks a day if you really wanted to. Eat street food and get water, and you're gonna be fine as that goes. Entertainment, you could go to a bar and drink cheap beer, whatever. There's ways to make it work. There's always a way to make it work if you got a couple grand a month at least. Like maybe you could do it for 1,000 a month in the provinces, but I wouldn't even work it out. I know there's people that do it all the time. I know it is, and good for them. I could not do it, but I know there's ways of doing it. But anyway, I could babble on about this forever. Me and my friends, we've had thousands of discussions over budgets here in the Philippines, here in Thailand. If you were going to move to Vietnam, Bali, whatever, we've had these discussions a billion times, and it's really up to you individually to make that work. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on the budget thing. I appreciate the question. I get it a lot. There you go. That's kind of how I roll. Do your research. Don't trust what I'm saying or anybody else on the internet. Do your own research, please. So let's get into the questions. I put this on here. I think I already talked about it, but you're wasting your money, and why do you do it that way? Like I said, I understand, guys. You got your own way of doing stuff. I get it. Don't expect me to do it the way that you do it. All right, I got it. Everybody's got great suggestions, got great ideas, what works for them, etc. And that's cool. I don't mind hearing about it, but just don't get mad if how come I told you like 5 times you should do it that way. Well, I decided not to do it your way and keep doing it my way. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm a grown man. That's I do what I do. All right. Tricare health insurance. I talked about this a bunch in the previous video. I'm not going to get way into it again. I'm not really I've never had to use my Tricare, thankfully. It's always been there. I paid for it already, and it was a benefit that I had, and I'll have until I think the 1st. I think it's going to drop off on the 1st here, the 1st of the year. But yeah, I never had to use it, but I'm glad it was there. It was a safety blanket if I ever did need it. Worst case, I've had just minor medical stuff that I did, and I just paid out of pocket. I didn't try to get a claim from Tricare for it, so I just paid for it out of pocket. It was really cheap stuff. I probably spent less than $500 on medical care over the last 3-4 years because thankfully I haven't got really sick. Thankfully, knock on wood. So, but yeah, and insurance, you guys already know what I'm doing with that. I won't get into that anymore. I want to repeat myself 12 times over that. Life before the military and why I joined. Life before the military, it wasn't much. I graduated high school, and I messed around for about a year. I went through 3 or 4 random jobs that didn't pay anything, and I wasn't going anywhere. These were jobs with no futures. They were just part-time jobs. I had one full-time job, but that wasn't going anywhere either. And yeah, my mom had enough of me. I was always begging for money and being a pain and partying and hanging out with my friends too much. Thankfully back then I didn't drink or anything, so I was just a hellion on my own without drinking. I'm glad I didn't drink back then, because I probably would have never made it this far. But anyway, yeah, so my mom had enough, and I kept finding brochures for the military in my sock drawer, and constant bombardment of, hey, you better do something because you're not going to stay here in this house, because I was living with my mom, obviously. And yeah, finally one of her friends who was in the military reserves and worked with her, offered to take me down to a recruiting office, and it was pretty much over from there. I had a very long and rewarding career, was able to set myself up for the rest of my life because of that career. Thanks, Mom. Love you, Mom. And that's pretty much life before the military, and that's why I joined the military. That's it. So hopefully that covered your question there. Okay, elite visa costs and benefits, and why did I extend? So with the elite visa, like I've said in a couple other videos, but not in my own video, so this would be great so I can tell you guys about it on my own channel, because I've already had it on a couple other channels. Check out Foreigner Joe, check out Teacher Thomas Thailand, and you can see my interviews with those guys talking about the same stuff. But for you guys who are on my channel, here you go. 500,000 baht is the cost for the elite visa. There's no other additional fees, anything like that. It's 500,000 even money, which translates to, right now, let's take a look here. Right now that would translate to, okay, 500,000 translates to 16,765 US dollars. The elite visa, you know, that was just the only option that was realistic to me to stay in Thailand under 50. There are other options. Like I've said this before, there are other options that you can do. They were not that viable to me. And I had the finances to afford the elite visa. I don't like hassles. And you've seen this already. I don't like drama. I don't like the problems. If I can put some extra money into it and not have to deal with any BS or rigmarole, all that, cool, I'll do it. You know, hey, whatever, charge it to the game. I'll make that money up somewhere. That's the way I look at it. I'll budget a little extra. I won't go out as much, whatever. I will get that money back. I'm not worried about it. Now, I don't have any issues. This year, for obvious reasons, I couldn't travel. You gotta understand that the elite visa is meant to be a tourist visa. It's still a tourist visa. It's like a multi-entry visa on crack, pretty much, is what it is. So you have the carte blanche to enter the country and leave as many times as you want. You know, that's the whole point of this visa, is no drama with immigration. The only hiccup is if you don't leave for a full year, 365 days, you stay within the kingdom, you have to do an extension. All right, and it's not a big deal. Like, you know, you guys have already seen the video. It was not a big deal, super simple. I just paid some people. You could do it on your own, but I just paid some people to go do the paperwork for me. And I went in, signed, gave them a picture, and that was it. It was nothing. It was super simple. So, but that's something I never thought I was going to have to do. But hopefully that'll be the last time I ever had to do the extension. Wasn't a big deal. Other than that, if you just kept going in and out of the country, you would never have to worry about it for the whole 5 years. You know, you could just do the whole 5 years going in and out of the country and never have to think about it. You know, and technically you're not living here. You are not a resident by any means. You are completely non-resident. And okay, 90-day check-ins, absolutely. To caveat on to the elite visa, yes, you must still do 90-day check-ins. Not a big deal. Under the elite, I don't know if anybody else offers this service or whatever, but for my 90-day check-ins, again, I could go do this myself for free as well if you want to go over to immigration. But if you don't want to go to immigration, Elite Visa has relationships with all these visa shops all over the country. So you can go to one of those visa shops, drop your passport off, they'll bring it back after, 24, 48 hours, no charge. So they'll do your 90-day check-in for you. But I saw something really cool. If you've seen Ali, oh man, what's the name of his channel? Anyway, I'll link his page down below. Ali up in Chiang Mai, but older gentleman, he did his 90-day the other day. I love this. It was a drive-through 90-day check-in. I loved it. So he just drove through, handed him the passport. The guy went bam, gave it right back to him. He kept going. I mean, he was there for less than a minute. So I'm glad to have, I don't know if they do that everywhere in Thailand, but they definitely had that up in Chiang Mai, and I thought that was awesome. When can people come back to Thailand? Technically, you can come back now. But I'm telling you, it is a process. It is a painful process, and it is an expensive process, okay? The very first thing you need to do is find out what are the requirements for your certificate of entry, COE. You have to go to those embassy websites. You're gonna have to dig through there a little bit. I can't remember what tab it's under, but you're looking for COE. I think you can search it as well. You're looking for COE, Certificate of Entry, and it will tell you all the requirements, and it has an application. Basically, you'll have to click on that application, open it up, fill out all the information as it asks you, and then it's gonna tell you, hey, you need to reserve an ASQ hotel, you need to have tickets, obviously you're gonna need like photos, what's your visa that you're applying for or that you already have, whatever your visa status is, or if you're applying for a visa after you get here, whatever, you got to provide all that information. And then of course you're going to need testing and insurance and all that. But that, I'm not even going to get into the finer details here. That's what you'll have to do to get back into Thailand. But that's open to, right now, it's open to anybody. So as far, there's no countries exempted. Apparently Thailand is open to every country. If you want to go through that process, you have to go through that COE process. Talked about ASQ hotels a little bit in the chat, in the live chat. Somebody had mentioned about ASQ hotels. That's the alternate state quarantine hotels. That's where you have to stay for your 15 days after you arrive in Thailand. You're gonna get tested a couple times, but honestly, there are some great videos. You can just put in ASQ hotels in YouTube and it will pop up, and you can see what these guys are going through, what kind of rooms they had, you know, what they did for their time, for their 15 days sitting in quarantine. And honestly, it's not that bad. If you really want to get back to Thailand and you're planning on spending a long, I would not do this if you're short term. Absolutely no reason. I would prefer to do long term. If I knew I was staying for like a year or something like that, then I think it would be worth it to do quarantine, but that's just me. I never had to do quarantine. I don't plan on doing quarantine. I am honestly not leaving Thailand until all this stuff is over and we can get back in the country without going through any of that drama. Otherwise, I'll just stay here. There's plenty for me to do and see in Thailand. My visa covers me. I'll just hang out here. I have no desire to leave the country until that's no longer an issue. Where can I get shirts? I get that question a lot too. Okay, I am working on the shirt thing. I want to refine my design, so I'm gonna have somebody help me out with refining the design, and then I'll have all this stuff up on Teespring. I got a few ideas for Teespring, and there you'll be able to get all kinds of stuff. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna do just t-shirts, or I might do a bunch of stuff. It might be shirts and, you know, hats and mugs and all that stuff. We'll see. You guys let me know what you want to see as far as that goes on Teespring. But it's just too easy to set up the Teespring and put all that stuff on there. Right now I just want to have a good solid design before I do that, and then once I got a design or a couple of good designs, then we'll do the Teespring thing. That could be a month down the road, but I thank you for your interest, but I'm not going to rush that. I want that to look good. All right. Some people ask me about sending money or all that. All that stuff is in the description. If you're interested in the money thing or whatever, I'm never gonna ask you for it. I don't need it, I'm fine, but it's cool that you wanna support the channel. Awesome, I appreciate you. Those links are in there. That's all I'm saying about that. So I think that pretty much covers it. I think we got everything out of the way. Would have been going for about 30 minutes. Cool, it won't be that long of a video. If you got more questions, of course, ask me. 100%. Anything I didn't cover, I thought I went through a lot of the comments. I thought I found everything. I'm not 100% I found everything, so just hit me up again. It's cool. I understand not everybody's going to see this video too, and I'm going to keep getting these questions. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. You guys are awesome, man. You know, I don't think I could do this if I didn't think you guys were so awesome. I am energized by the comments. I'm energized by 4,000 subs. You know, I'm energized by 100 people coming in to watch me work out and chat with me. That is crazy to me. That makes it fun for me. You know, I don't care about the negative stuff. Don't worry about. I know some people mention, you know, please ignore those guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Woo, weight loss challenge. I get some questions on the weight loss challenge too. Yeah, we're not telling y'all anything until we weigh in. Sorry. So you guys will know when we know. You know, I have no idea how much weight Chuck or Joe has lost. I know they're grinding. I know they're putting in their videos. You know, it looks like a scene out of Rocky. You know, when he's you know, doing the push-ups and everything. And me, I walked on a treadmill for like an hour and a half and chat with you guys. So whatever. If I lose, I lose, man. We had fun with it though. That's all that matters. And at least we try to motivate each other to do a little work. So, and it's that time of year too. I don't know, something about winter time. I just love eating during this time of year. Well, that's BS. I actually like eating all the time, but. But it's all good. It's all good. At least we got a little motivated. We did a little work, and you know, it's the holiday season, so we got all this food and drinking we're gonna be doing up north anyway. So maybe we come back, you know, mid-January. Yeah, it'll be time to grind and get healthy. What do you think? I don't know. All right, I'm just filling space now. Let me shut up. Thanks for the support. James Casino, Chocolate Man in Thailand, and I'm out.